there's a little bit of sketch here. So,
Oh yes, just a note. What we're about to talk about was reported just maybe about an hour, half an hour before the Overwatch reveal went live. Just so you know how the news cycle works.
that's very funny.
Yep.
The thing is, the Overwatch, that was a planned reveal.
Yeah, but yeah, so someone planned both of these to go at the same time.
Really?
Well, I mean, so I'm thinking a press report can go anytime, right? And it was an Activision Blizzard press release. So they could have been setting up.
Oh, of course.
I'm
This
not
isn't an investigative report coming
Yes.
out. This is Activision Blizzard saying they did nothing wrong and then immediately going, we did nothing wrong. Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Look at Overwatch 2. It's Sojourn. Woo!
Yeah. I would never say that Activision.
Sorry, I'm stupid.
Yeah, I would
you're
never
right.
say that Activision Blizzard drop gamer or game news suddenly to cover off a story, because that doesn't make sense with how those things are organized. But when it's Activision Blizzard doing both in the same day, and it's both their actions, you can very much see the people at the top going, do we have any news coming up from video games that'll keep the press busy while they talk about video games? All those fucking gamers, all those gamer pigs giving us all their money. Yeah, we've got one on Thursday. Sweet. Well, send this through to the press report people there. Get that published on Thursday just before the news goes live. And then you've got Activision have investigated Activision and have found Activision to have done nothing wrong.
There you go.
All done. Cleared.
All right.
Sorted. Yeah. Yeah, I guess none of that really happened.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Sorry, that caught me off guard because of the recent episode of The Boys.
So,
Oh my god.
you ready, everyone?
Fucking
Contrary to many of the allegations, the board and its external partners have determined there's no evidence to suggest that Activision Blizzard senior executives ever intentionally ignored or attempted to downplay the instances of gender harassment that occurred and were reported. That work has also not unearthed any evidence directly or indirectly suggesting any attempts by the senior executive or employee to conceal information from the board. Outside advisors, after exhaustive review, have determined the board never intentionally ignored or attempted to downplay the instances of gender harassment that occurred and were reported. The review of contemporaneous documentation and statements by relevant individuals shows that media criticism of the board and Activision Blizzard senior executives are as insensitive to workplace matters is without merit.
Yep.
There you go. No,
It gets even more intense,
man,
too.
without merit. There's no gold star in our homework diary. I'm really sad. So, okay, in addition to their work, the board of directors has engaged a former chair of the EEOC, Gilbert Casellas. Yes, Mr. Casellas was engaged to conduct a review of data from collected, investigated reports of gender harassment from across the United States between September 1st, 16, December 31st, 21. Should note a bunch of things happened before September 1st, 2016. Yes. That is why the EEOC report is the one that Blizzard really does want to, or Activision, the whole corporate shebang, wants to engage with, because the DFEH stuff is more historical.
Yes.
Based on his review, he concluded there's no widespread harassment pattern or practice of harassment or systemic harassment at Activision Blizzard or any of its business units during that time frame. Further concluded that based on volume reports, the amount of misconduct reflected is comparatively low for a company of their size.
Weren't they literally caught shredding evidence? Yes, they were.
So the company's been subject to an unrelenting barrage of media criticism. Thank you very much. Pleasure.
We'll do it any fucking time.
Much of this originated for the highly inflammatory made-for-press allegations of the DFEH. I mean, in fairness, they definitely did make it media ready, 100%.
Yeah, well, I mean...
As they would, because... when you're firing, you want to aim your shot well. Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's like these were made for press allegations, as opposed to who made for you, who would take them and go, "We did do none of this. Fuck you."
Press generally does try to report on things that happened. So newsworthy equals made for press, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, do you think this will be relevant to any audience of any news site? Well, that's made for press, and that means get an attack. Now, you're attacking us. We're per Activision Blizzard.
We do have to look at the written statement posted to twitter.com of Josh Allen, not the one who's in the sport, the one who was the community manager of World of Warcraft, saying, in their defense, this statement is completely true if you ignore the mountains of evidence and testimony and don't know what the word true means. I just bring it up because he obviously worked at the company from 2013.
From a yes to a while ago.
23rd, it was during MOP for sure.
Yeah.
He was in he's content creation community. I think basically as I started doing content, that was like around the time that he moved over to Blizzard. So there you go.
Yeah, I
there
wonder
you
if he would
go.
know
Happy. There is no nothing in Blizzard Entertainment. Fantastic. So there you go.
Perfect. I mean,
They're off the hook, boys. We can now buy our microtransactions with a clean conscience.
yeah, we should all maybe get like a little apology letter written up to Bobby Kotick, because I think we all said very mean things about him and all of his board members and people who were in senior management. We should maybe get together and write a big apology letter to him and say, listen, we're very sorry. We thought this was all true. Those lying media bastards just must have they're just trying to make you look bad, sir. Sorry.
Yep. So much like the fans of the television show The Expanse, I think we should pool money in to get one of those airplanes with like a little message at the back that just says, sorry, Bobby.
That'd be great, yeah. Yeah. I can't fucking...
There's one person who's going to see this clip and think, oh, wow, I can't believe they believed their corporate lies.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what their statement is. Aspects of it are quite hard to believe given general testimony.
Yes.
I think you also do have to remember that this is based off a review of documents. So there then is the thing of how many of these documents exist. Were things documented at the time?
Were they shredded?
Is that in just chat logs that are no longer in the archive? There's a lot of these questions. This certainly seems to fly in the face of what a lot of public-facing Blizzard employees, even currently employed employees, are saying, which would certainly mean that whatever is said here is not going to be, maybe is not in line with their experience in that workplace. So that's this situation. What's up with the DFEH report again? There's been so many things in my head over the last while.
I honestly, I was trying to think about this earlier. I'm like, I have no idea.
It's still rumbling around the legal realm in some way,
because,
right?
Yeah, because the last update was the EEOC settlement, trying to get the DFEH stuff thrown out, right? Mm-hmm. And then that was kicked down the road, I think. So I don't really remember. It's very confusing. Maybe I should...
Well, basically that's like the situation anyway is that the EEOC one is obviously placed to their favor. And a funny thing that you may not know, so if you basically sign off to be part of the pretty damn small EEOC settlement, then you basically tick the box saying that your matter is now legally resolved, which would mean that you would not be included in any future DFEH related payout should their case be successful. The DFEH is obviously a lot more aggressive in this than the EEOC is. There are allegations of procedural issues, I think, regarding, conflicts of interest in legal people with the DFEH's case, which certainly is a pretty bad look for them. So there's that kind of rumbly stuff. But, I mean, if you remember with Riot Games, I think that was going to be 10 million. And then it got upgraded to 100 million.
Yep. Pretty nice.
So, a lot of Blizzard employees are probably they're probably going to look at the DFEH's track record and think, oh, shit. Maybe I shouldn't sign this EEOC one.
Yeah, so that was the thing where that was the last kind of update on it overall, was that the EEOC lawsuit was the court accepted those terms.
Okay.
So that was the settlement was given, and anyone who took money from that will be unable to claim under the DFEH. Yeah. The DFEH had a start date of February 2023 expected. So I think that might just be held up in courts as stuff goes through. They may have to change things depending on how the EEOC thing went in terms of who they actually have to represent. I don't know if that's super important. And then the last other thing we heard was the resigning of the DFEH chief counsel and her deputy, who stood down because of alleged interference by the governor's office.
Yeah.
Because that was the other thing, where the California governor's like, allegedly get Bobby out of here free.
Allegedly.
Fully, completely, genuinely, 100% allegedly.
Yes.
This is literally allegations.
I very much mean the word allegedly.
Yes, I am reading from Wikipedia right now, so that shows how fucking, how well glued we are. But yes, absolutely.